The 33rd degree knowledge does not ask you to beg or plead with destiny. It asks you to become the destiny you seek, to embody the life you desire so completely that the universe has no choice but to reflect it back. This wisdom has been kept hidden, not because it is difficult, but because its simplicity is its true power. And once you hold it, you hold the master key, knowing that all doors were never locked at all. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1, The First Unveiling. Chapter 1, The Mirror of Thought. Through the veils of time, two tales emerge that reveal the sacred mechanics of creation. In a bustling town lived Clara, whose heart carried kindness, yet whose lips spoke of life's burdens. With each passing day, she found herself ensnared in an ever-expanding web of circumstances that validated her words. When her car required repairs, she spoke of misfortune, and soon her appliances began to fail. When she mentioned the rudeness of a stranger, a wave of discourteous encounters followed. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, was not punishing Clara. It was simply aligning itself with the vibration she consistently offered. Like a garden that yields precisely what is planted, her reality flourished with the seeds of her thoughts. This truth stands as the first revelation of the 33rd degree. Your thoughts are not mere whispers in the void. They are the architects of tomorrow. The universe, vast and responsive, does not distinguish between what you desire and what you fear. It simply answers the call of your dominant thoughts with unwavering precision. Milton's story illuminates this principle from the opposite shore. Each morning, he chose laughter as his prayer, finding humor in life's smallest moments. He did not laugh to change his world. He laughed because joy lived in his heart. Yet as surely as night follows day, his world transformed. New friendships blossomed, bringing more reasons for joy. Opportunities arose that carried the same light-hearted energy he embodied. These experiences unveil the second revelation. Reality is not a judge, but a mirror, reflecting back the essence of what we hold within. When you understand this truth, you realize that every thought is a prayer, every feeling a seed planted in the fertile soil of infinite possibility. The ancient practice of mirror manifestation. As the sun sets each day, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing your mind to settle like still waters. Imagine before you stand a mirror, not one that shows your physical form, but one that reflects tomorrow's reality. In this mirror, see your desired life playing out with crystal clarity. Feel the emotions this vision stirs within you. Let every detail become vivid and real, as though you're watching a scene already unfolding. Hold this vision until it feels as tangible.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia. It hit me hard. It did. Being a girl dad, it really just melted my heart.
It changes everything.
You feel hopeless at that moment. Once we got the first initial hit, it was just straight tears, sickness in your stomach, just don't want to get up out of bed.
There's always that saying, well, you gotta look on the bright side of things. Tell me what the bright side of childhood cancer is.
Hold this vision until it feels as tangible as the ground beneath your feet. Then, with the same naturalness as releasing a breath, let the image dissolve into the universe. express gratitude, knowing that what you've witnessed is already in motion. This practice, passed down through generations, aligns your inner world with the reality you wish to manifest. Chapter 2. The Weight of Belief. The mirror of reality reflects not just your thoughts, but the deep-seated beliefs that form the very foundation of your being. This truth comes alive in the tale of Elsie, whose heart carried beauty, yet whose spirit bore the weight of unworthiness. Though opportunities knocked at her door, a promotion, a chance at love, moments of recognition, she unconsciously pushed them away, believing herself undeserving of life's sweetest gifts. The 33rd degree unveils a fundamental truth. Your beliefs are the invisible architects of your destiny. Like a master builder creating the blueprint of a grand palace, your beliefs sketch the boundaries of what you allow yourself to receive. These boundaries remain unseen to the physical eye, yet they shape every experience that flows into your life. When you hold a belief, whether of abundance or limitation, the universe aligns all circumstances to match this inner conviction. It is not punishment or reward, but rather the perfect reflection of your deepest truths about yourself and your place in the world. Observe how this principle manifested in Chester's life. He carried within him an unshakable certainty that good fortune naturally gravitated toward him. Where others saw obstacles, he perceived stepping stones. When challenges arose, he met them with the quiet confidence of one who knows that all things work in their favor. And so they did. Business opportunities found him. Relationships enriched him. And even in difficult times, solutions appeared as if by magic. Yet there was no magic at work, only the precise operation of universal law. Chester's certainty became the lens through which reality filtered all experiences, allowing through only those that matched his inner conviction. What others called luck was simply the natural crystallization of his beliefs into tangible form. The ancient practice passed down through the 33rd degree offers a key to transforming your own beliefs. As the sun rises each morning, stand before your mirror. Choose one empowering belief that you wish to integrate into your being. Speak it aloud, not as a hope or wish, but as an absolute truth. Continue until you feel the energy of these words coursing through your body, until every cell tingles with recognition of this new reality. Let your voice carry the authority of one who knows, rather than one who merely wishes. Chapter 3. The River of Emotion. In the hidden chambers of the heart lies a force more potent than thought alone, the sacred power of emotion. Through the lens of the 33rd degree knowledge, we witness how feelings magnetize our thoughts, drawing reality into alignment with their vibration. Sally carried anger like a torch, unknowingly setting flame to every interaction. Her frustration with a morning delay would spark heated words with colleagues, which then ignited conflicts in meetings, until her entire day became consumed by the fire she herself had lit. Through her experience, the ancient wisdom reveals itself. Emotion is the energy that breathes life into thought, transforming it from mere whisper to commanding force. Just as water flows downhill, reality flows in the direction of our strongest feelings. A thought without emotion remains dormant, like an unplanted seed. But when watered with feeling, it takes root in the soil of existence. The 33rd degree teaches that emotion is the current that carries thought into manifestation. Vernon's story illuminates the opposite shore of this truth. Each morning, he would pause to feel genuine appreciation for the gift of a new day. This wasn't merely positive thinking. It was a full-bodied experience of gratitude that radiated from his core. As if by magic, his path would smooth before him. Strangers would stop to offer assistance before he asked. Opportunities appeared at precisely the right moment. The universe seemed to delight in delighting him. His experience demonstrates the law that gratitude felt deeply creates a magnetic field of grace. When we vibrate in appreciation, reality cannot help but mirror that frequency back to us. This is not coincidence, but the precise operation of universal law. The ancient practice passed down through generations harnesses this power through conscious cultivation of grateful emotion. Each evening, take your journal and write 3 specific things for which you feel genuine gratitude. As you write each one, pause to let the warmth of appreciation fill your chest. Feel it as fully as you would feel the sun on your face or the embrace of a loved one. Let this emotion saturate your being until your entire body resonates with thankfulness. This practice activates the magnetic power of emotion, drawing more reasons for gratitude into your field of experience. Chapter 4. The Sound of Intention. In the silence.
Welcome to my home. Come on in. I would not be living in this home if it weren't for DoorDash. I started dashing in the evenings. I could make my own schedule as
The Sound of Intention. In the silence of her modest home, Marjorie lit candles each evening, whispering prayers into the darkness. Her words floated upward, carried on wisps of uncertainty. Perhaps, she would say, if it is meant to be. Her desires, wrapped in layers of doubt, dissolved before they could take root in the fertile soil of creation. The 33rd degree teaches that intention is the arrow of manifestation, and doubt splits this arrow in 2. When you launch your desires with hesitation, they cannot pierce the veil between thought and form. Reality requires clear signals to respond with precision. Like a mirror that cannot reflect a blurred image with clarity, the universe cannot manifest a divided intention. Dean's story illuminates this truth with crystalline simplicity. When his business faced collapse, he did not entertain multiple possibilities or hedge his choices with backup plans. Instead, he made one unwavering decision. His enterprise would prosper. He held this intention with such clarity that it became his only truth. Soon, a chance meeting led to an unexpected partnership. A delayed shipment revealed a more profitable supplier. A competitor's closure directed new customers to his door. These were not mere coincidences, but the natural response of reality aligning with undivided intention. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking or tentative requests. It answers the frequency of absolute knowledge. When your intention rings clear as a bell on a still morning, reality has no choice but to reshape itself around your certainty. The 33rd degree reveals that creation follows the path of least resistance. When you send mixed signals, hoping for success while preparing for failure, desiring love while expecting disappointment, you create resistance in the very fabric of manifestation. But when intention flows from a single point of clarity, reality bends effortlessly toward your vision. The ancient practice. As the first light touches the horizon each morning, stand facing the rising sun. Speak one clear intention aloud, letting your voice carry the weight of absolute certainty. Feel the words vibrate through your body. knowing they have already taken form in the unseen realm. Then release all expectations, trusting that what is spoken with clarity must manifest in its perfect time. Chapter 5. The Power of Imagination. In a small cottage among rolling hills, Lydia spent her mornings peering through lace curtains, imagining storms that might destroy her garden. Each rustling leaf became a harbinger of disaster in her mind's eye, until the weight of imagined catastrophes pressed heavily upon her shoulders. As she dwelled on potential calamities, her life grew darker. Plants withered despite dutiful care. Friendships cooled without apparent cause, and opportunities slipped away like shadows at dusk. The 33rd degree teaches that imagination is the paintbrush of existence, coloring the canvas of reality with whatever hues we choose to mix. When you paint with the dark pigments of fear, the universe faithfully reproduces these shades in the material world. Your mind does not distinguish between what you desire and what you dread. It simply accepts the images you feed it as blueprints for creation. Franklin understood this principle with remarkable clarity. Each morning he would sit in his workshop, eyes closed, crafting vivid scenes of success in his mind. He imagined the smooth grain of exotic woods beneath his fingers, the satisfied smiles of customers admiring his craftsmanship, the gentle clink of coins filling his purse. He felt the warmth of accomplishment in his chest, tasted the sweetness of achievement on his tongue. As the weeks passed, his visions began materializing. A merchant from distant lands discovered his work. Wealthy patrons sought his unique designs. His small workshop expanded, and apprentices gathered to learn his methods. Yet Franklin's greatest secret lay not in his skilled hands, but in his disciplined imagination. The universe responds to the pictures you hold in your mind with unwavering precision. Like a master artisan following detailed plans, it constructs reality according to your mental blueprint. This is why those who spend their hours imagining illness often find themselves in physicians' waiting rooms, while those who picture vibrant health tend to radiate vitality. Your imagination is not mere fantasy. It is a sacred tool of creation, passed down through the ages by those who understood its power. When you close your eyes and paint a scene in your mind, you are not daydreaming. You are programming the matrix of reality itself. Practice. In the silence of dawn or dusk, find a quiet space where you will remain undisturbed. Close your eyes and imagine a scene of victory so vividly that you can feel it stir emotion in your body. Let every detail emerge. The sounds, the scents, the textures. Feel the joy of an achievement course through your veins until your heart swells with its reality. This is not mere visualization. It is the ancient art of reality creation, practiced by masters throughout time. Chapter 6.
Don't get a friend as your coach. Most people talk a good game. They tell everybody what they want to achieve. They tell them the huge goals that they're going to go after.
Practiced by masters throughout time. Chapter 6. The Language of Vibration. In the ancient marketplace of Alexandria, there lived a merchant named Mabel who spent her days lamenting the scarcity of customers and the hardships of trade. With each passing day, her words painted darker shadows across her path. "No one values quality anymore," she would say, watching potential buyers pass her stall. "Times are harder than ever," she'd whisper to fellow merchants. And so it was that her prophecies manifested. Customers grew scarcer, and her wares remained unsold. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not judge the vibrations we emit. It simply matches them. Like attracts like, as surely as music draws dancers to its rhythm. Your words may speak of desire, but your vibration broadcasts your true frequency to the cosmos. In the same marketplace, Harold, a humble potter, discovered this truth through quiet observation. Though his wares were simple, he spent his mornings in silent gratitude for the clay between his fingers, the sun warming his workspace, and the gentle flow of life around him. He seldom spoke of success, yet his stall drew people like moths to flame. They would comment on the peaceful atmosphere surrounding his space, though none could explain exactly why they felt so drawn to linger there. The 33rd degree reveals that vibration is not merely an abstract concept. It is the very language of creation. Every thought, every feeling, every moment of focus emits a frequency that ripples through the fabric of reality. This ripple returns to you, bringing experiences that match its pattern. When you comprehend this truth, you understand why some seem blessed while others struggle. It is not fate or fortune that divides them, but the quality of their inner broadcast. Those who maintain a vibration of lack will find evidence of scarcity at every turn. Those who cultivate a frequency of abundance naturally attract circumstances that mirror their inner state. The ancient practice of alignment begins with recognition of your current broadcast. Like tuning an instrument, you must first hear the note you're playing before you can adjust it to harmony. Your circumstances are not your destiny. They are merely the echo of your past vibrations. Practice for vibrational alignment. Seat yourself in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and begin humming softly, any note that feels natural to you. As you hum, envision a golden light beginning to glow at your center. With each gentle hum, see and feel this light growing brighter, radiating outward through your body. Continue for 5 minutes, allowing your entire being to become a lighthouse of brilliant, harmonious energy. This practice aligns your vibration with the frequency of pure potential, calling forth circumstances that match your luminous state. Chapter 7. The Gift of Focus. In the quiet village of Thornfield, Dorothy filled her days with a flurry of beginnings. Her workshop overflowed with half-finished paintings, partially written stories, and craft projects abandoned midway. Each morning brought new inspiration, and each evening saw another pursuit set aside. Like a butterfly touching briefly on countless flowers, she tasted the nectar of many dreams, but never stayed long enough to produce honey. The wisdom of the 33rd degree teaches that energy follows a universal law. What you scatter dissolves. What you concentrate materializes. Just as sunlight, spread thin across a field, gently warms the earth, but focused through a lens ignites flame, so too does human attention hold the power to kindle reality into form. Walter, a humble craftsman in the same village, understood this truth without knowing its name. While others marveled at his seemingly sudden success, they failed to see the thousands of hours he devoted to mastering the art of wood carving. Day after day, year after year, his hands shaped the same materials, his mind absorbed in the same dedicated practice. Where Dorothy's workshop displayed dozens of abandoned starts, Walter's showed the evolution of a single passion, refined over time. The universe responds not to wishes, but to sustained attention. Each time you shift focus, you release the momentum building behind your previous endeavor. It is like digging many shallow wells instead of one deep one. depth reaches water. The scattered mind creates scattered results, while the focused mind becomes a lens through which possibility ignites into reality. When Walter's work finally gained recognition, many called it luck. But those who understand the language of vibration recognize that his success emerged from something far more powerful than chance. His unwavering focus created a resonance so strong that reality had no choice but to align with its frequency. Where Dorothy's varied interests created interference patterns that canceled each other out, Walter's singular devotion amplified upon itself, growing stronger with each passing day. This principle operates with mathematical precision in your own life. Every time you commit fully to one path, you initiate a momentum that builds upon itself. Each moment of focused attention adds to the wave of manifestation, while each distraction diminishes its power. Today, choose one priority and commit fully, resisting the lure of scattering attention. Chapter 8. The Wisdom of Silence. Long ago, Pearl filled every moment of her days with endless activity. From dawn until dusk, she surrounded herself with a steady stream of music, television, conversation, and the countless notifications that demanded her attention. Like water flowing over stones, the constant noise smoothed away the edges of her awareness until she could no longer distinguish the whispers of her own soul from the clamor of the world. The 33rd degree knowledge teaches that silence is not an absence, but a presence. It is the sacred space where wisdom dwells, waiting to be discovered. In the quiet moments between thoughts, the universe speaks its truth directly to those who learn to listen. Just as a lake must be still to reflect the stars above, the mind must find stillness to reflect the light of inner knowing. When your thoughts are constantly stirred by external noise, the waters of your consciousness remain murky. The subtle signals of intuition, those gentle nudges that guide you toward your highest path, become lost in the turbulence of endless distraction. This is why those who master reality understand that silence is not empty. It is filled with the power of pure potential. Norman discovered this truth through necessity rather than choice. After losing his way in life's complex maze, he found himself drawn to moments of quiet contemplation. At first, the silence felt uncomfortable, even threatening. But as he persisted, something remarkable began to unfold. In those still moments, Norman began to perceive a deeper current of knowing. Without the constant interference of noise, his mind cleared like a sky after storm clouds passed. Solutions to problems emerged effortlessly. Decisions that once seemed impossible became clear. Most importantly, he developed an unwavering sense of direction that no external opinion could shake. The transformation in Norman's life stands as testament to this timeless principle. When you create space for silence, you create space for wisdom. His choices, guided by this inner compass, led him unerringly toward opportunities he could never have planned with his thinking mind alone.
Enter the trading area and go from the bullpen to the bull market. Turn data into sharper decisions.
Unerringly toward opportunities he could never have planned with his thinking mind alone. Ancient practice of inner listening. Set 10 minutes aside daily for silence, simply listening to your breath until guidance rises gently. Find a space where you will not be disturbed, and allow your breath to become your only focus. As thoughts arise, observe them without attachment, letting them pass like clouds in the sky. In this space of pure attention, Wisdom will begin to speak in its own time, with its own voice. Chapter 9. The Law of Alignment. In a bustling marketplace, Irene stood before her small shop, lamenting to passers-by about rising costs and dwindling customers. "Times are hard," she would say, shaking her head. "Nobody has money to spend anymore." With each utterance, her words cast shadows over her dreams of prosperity, like clouds gathering before a storm. Her thoughts of lack found expression in her words, and her words guided her actions, marking down prices, reducing inventory, and preparing for the worst. The 33rd degree teaches that alignment is the sacred trinity of manifestation. When thought, word, and action move as one, reality bends toward your desire, with the inevitability of water flowing downstream. Yet, when these forces pull in different directions, they create turbulence in the field of manifestation. Gilbert, a craftsman in a distant village, understood this wisdom intuitively. When he envisioned expanding his workshop, he allowed this vision to infuse every aspect of his being. His thoughts dwelled on growth and possibility. His words spoke of opportunity and expansion. His actions, though small at first, aligned perfectly with his vision. He organized his tools more efficiently, prepared additional workbenches, and greeted each visitor as though they were his 100th customer of the day. Within months, Gilbert's workshop transformed. Orders flowed in with increasing frequency. His once quiet workspace hummed with activity. The universe, recognizing the harmony between his inner and outer worlds, responded by orchestrating circumstances to match his aligned energy. The difference between Irene and Gilbert reveals a fundamental truth. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. When thought, word, and action align, you become a clear channel through which abundance can flow. When they conflict, you become like a house divided against itself. This ancient wisdom teaches that manifestation requires more than positive thinking alone. It demands complete congruence between what you envision in your mind, express through your words, and demonstrate through your actions. Each component must support the others, like three pillars supporting a temple of manifestation. The practice of alignment. Select a quiet moment and take 3 deep breaths. On a clean sheet of paper, write down one heartfelt desire that burns within you. Beneath it, identify 3 specific actions you can take that would align your outer world with this inner vision. Let these actions be small enough to begin today, yet meaningful enough to signal your commitment to the universe. This practice creates a bridge between the world of thought and the world of form, allowing your desire to cross from possibility into reality. Chapter 10. The Freedom of Detachment. In a small village among rolling hills, there lived a woman named Ethel who yearned deeply for a garden of roses. Each day she would visit her empty plot, checking the soil obsessively, digging up seeds to ensure they had sprouted, and fretting over every detail. Her constant interference prevented the natural process of growth, and her garden remained barren. The 33rd degree teaches that manifestation follows a sacred rhythm, like the moon waxing and waning, like the tide flowing and ebbing. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, you must step away and trust in the unseen forces that guide all creation. Your role is not to force the flower to bloom, but to create the conditions for its natural unfoldment. Attachment to outcomes creates resistance in the fabric of reality. When you grip too tightly to your desires, you interrupt the delicate dance of manifestation. The universe responds not to desperate clutching, but to the magnetic pull of aligned energy set free. In contrast, there lived a merchant named Stanley who understood the wisdom of release. He would set his intentions clearly, take inspired action, and then surrender completely to the flow of life.
You're probably wondering what I'm doing right now. At this very moment, I'm activating a vibrational sequence.
Take inspired action, and then surrender completely to the flow of life. He treated his desires like messages in bottles cast into the cosmic ocean, knowing they would reach their destination in perfect time. One autumn morning, Stanley felt moved to explore a new trade route. Rather than obsessing over the outcome, he simply followed his intuition. This led him to discover a thriving market town he had never known existed, opening up abundant new possibilities. His detachment allowed synchronicity to work its magic, bringing him rewards far greater than his original vision. The difference between Ethel and Stanley reveals a fundamental truth. What you resist persists. What you release returns transformed by grace. This is not passive waiting, but active trust, a profound knowing that the universe's timing surpasses your limited perspective. The 33rd degree reveals that attachment is born of fear, while detachment springs from faith. When you truly understand that the universe is working for your highest good, you can release your iron grip on outcomes. Like a parent watching a child take their first steps, you create the space for miracles to unfold naturally. Practice. Find a quiet moment and bring to mind your deepest desire. Feel it fully in your heart, acknowledging its importance to you. Now, imagine this desire as a bright balloon in your favorite color. Hold it gently. Infuse it with your love and intention. Then slowly open your hands. Watch it drift upward into the infinite sky, carrying your dreams to the universe. Smile as it rises higher and higher, knowing that what is truly yours will always find its way back to you. Part 2. The Deepening Current. Chapter 11. The Echo of Words. In a bustling marketplace, there lived a woman named Minnie, who wove dark spells with her tongue, though she knew it not. This day is cursed, utter each morning. Nothing ever goes right, she would sigh as the sun climbed higher. With each bitter pronouncement, the hours before her transformed to match her proclamations, as surely as night follows day. The 33rd degree unveils a truth known to ancient mystics. Your words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of existence. Each syllable carries a vibration that ripples through the fabric of reality, attracting circumstances that mirror its frequency. When you speak, you cast spells into the universe, writing the script of your tomorrow. These utterances are not mere sounds lost to the wind. They are commands that the universe must obey. Your words become the architect's blueprint, drawing to you experiences that match their essence. Whether whispered in solitude or proclaimed aloud, each word carries the power to shape the invisible into the visible. In the same town lived a merchant named Leonard, who understood this sacred principle. He greeted each dawn with words of appreciation, blessing his home, his work, and all who crossed his path. Today brings new treasures, he would declare. Life flows with abundance, he would affirm. As seasons passed, Leonard's life blossomed like a well-tended garden. Customers were drawn to his gentle spirit. Strangers became friends, and opportunities appeared as if summoned by an unseen hand. His words had become a magnet, attracting circumstances that matched their light. This ancient wisdom teaches that speech is a divine gift, a tool of creation bestowed upon those who walk in human form. Your tongue is a wand, your words are spells, and your voice holds the power to transform shadows into light. Each time you speak, you are engaging in a sacred act of creation. The contrast between Minnie and Leonard unveils the precise mechanism by which reality takes shape. Your words are not empty vessels. They are filled with the power of your consciousness, carrying the seeds of tomorrow's experiences. Like drops of water wearing away stone, they shape the contours of your life through constant repetition. The 33rd degree knowledge reveals that mastery lies not in controlling circumstances, but in mindfully choosing the words that will call forth your desired reality. Your speech is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the tool by which thoughts take form in the physical world. Practice. As each day draws to a close, sit quietly in a space that brings you peace. Select one aspect of your life, perhaps your health, your home, or a relationship. Speak words of blessing over it with genuine feeling, as though you were bestowing.
Who's coming in the driveway?
Speak words of blessing over it with genuine feeling, as though you were bestowing a gift on a beloved friend. Let your words rise from your heart, carrying the warmth of true appreciation. This ancient practice aligns your speech with the creative force of the universe, transforming cursing into blessing, lack into abundance. Chapter 12. The Alchemy of Gratitude. In a small valley between ancient hills, there lived a woman named Agnes, whose heart had grown heavy with resentment. Each morning she would count her burdens like dark pearls on a string, the work that wore her hands raw, the emptiness of her purse, the countless dreams left unfulfilled. With each grievance she nursed, her spirit sank deeper into shadow, and the universe, ever-faithful mirror, multiplied her reasons to despair. The 33rd degree reveals that gratitude is not merely a virtue. It is an alchemical force that transmutes the lead of circumstance into the gold of opportunity. When you shift your attention from what is lacking to what is present, you alter the very frequency of your being. This elevated vibration calls forth experiences that match its higher nature. In this sacred science, gratitude serves as the philosopher's stone, the catalyst that transforms the base metal of experience into wisdom's precious gold. It is not the circumstances themselves that determine their weight in your life, but rather the lens through which you perceive them. In the same valley lived a merchant named Clarence, who had discovered this timeless truth. Though his path was no easier than Agnes's, he met each challenge with thanks. For the work that calloused his hands, he gave thanks for strength. For the coins that seemed too few, he gave thanks for lessons in wisdom. For dreams yet unrealized, he gave thanks for the journey of becoming. As time passed, a curious transformation began to unfold. The very hardships that had once seemed like obstacles began revealing themselves as hidden treasures. What appeared as setbacks contained seeds of opportunity, and what felt like delays opened doors to unexpected blessings. Through Clarence's eyes of appreciation, reality itself seemed to soften and reshape itself into more benevolent forms. This ancient wisdom teaches that gratitude is not a passive response to good fortune, but an active force that rearranges the particles of existence. When you offer thanks, you align yourself with the creative current of the universe, transforming resistance into flow, burden into blessing. The stark difference between Agnes and Clarence illuminates the power of this principle. It is not the weight of circumstances that determines their impact, but the vibrational offering you make in response. Gratitude dissolves the illusion of separation between you and your good, revealing the abundance that was always present. Practice. As you prepare for sleep each night, speak 3 sincere words of thanks aloud. Let them rise from your heart like incense, carrying the warmth of true appreciation. This sacred practice, passed down through generations of wisdom keepers, attunes your being to the frequency of grace, transforming the very fabric of your experience. Chapter 13. The Dance of Desire. In a distant village, there lived a woman named Edith, whose heart burned with endless desires. Each morning she would rise and demand her dreams manifest, growing more frustrated as they seemed to retreat like shadows from her grasp. Her commands echoed through the chambers of her mind. Come now. Why do you delay? Yet the more she insisted, the more elusive her aspirations became. The 33rd degree teachings whisper a truth often overlooked. Desire operates not by command, but through invitation. Like a graceful dance between partners, manifestation flows through harmony rather than force. When you attempt to seize your dreams with desperate hands, they slip away like water through fingers. Consider how the universe responds to gentleness rather than demands. Your desires are not servants to be ordered, but divine companions waiting to dance with you in perfect rhythm. The secret lies not in hastening their arrival, but in enjoying their gradual unfolding. In the same village lived Randall, a baker who understood this divine waltz. Each morning as he kneaded his dough, he would smile at the vision of his dreams as though greeting old friends. He never demanded they appear faster or complained of their timing. Instead, he delighted in their presence in his imagination, treating each aspiration as a cherished dance partner. As seasons passed, Randall's bakery flourished beyond expectation. Yet it was not the success that brought him joy. It was the journey itself. His dreams manifested naturally, like flowers blooming in their perfect season, because he had learned to dance with desire rather than wrestle with it. The 33rd degree reveals that creation responds not to urgency, but to joy. When you treat your desires as beloved companions rather than delayed promises, they begin to mirror your pleasure in their presence. This is the alchemy that transforms waiting into wisdom and longing into love. Your role is not to command the universe, but to move in harmony with it. Let your desires be dance partners in the grand ballroom of existence. When you shift from demanding to dancing, from forcing to flowing, the very energy of your dreams transforms from burden to blessing. Ancient practice. Close your eyes and envision your deepest desire. Rather than reaching for it with urgent hands, imagine it as a dance partner approaching with grace. Feel the joy of its companionship, the pleasure of its presence. Move with it in your mind, allowing the dance to unfold at its natural pace. This is not a practice of manifestation through force, but of creation through partnership. Before we get into the next chapter,
Wait, does eating eggs and bacon really cause type 2? No, high blood sugar has nothing to do with food, but if that's your fear...
Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Presence of Faith. In the ancient teachings, faith stands as the bridge between desire and manifestation. Through countless generations, this truth has whispered itself into existence. What you believe precedes what you see. Once there lived a woman named Lucille, who spent her days waiting for change to appear before believing in its possibility. Each morning she would rise and scan her circumstances for proof that tomorrow might differ from today. Finding none, she would sink back into familiar patterns, her heart heavy with the weight of disbelief. When I see it, I shall believe it, she would murmur, unknowingly positioning herself against the current of creation. The 33rd degree knowledge reveals a profound truth. Faith is not the result of manifestation, but its predecessor. As the farmer must trust in harvest while looking upon empty fields, so must you walk in certainty while your desires still slumber in the realm of potential. Your faith creates the channel through which manifestation flows. Howard understood this principle intuitively. Though his dream of becoming a master craftsman seemed distant, he carried himself with the quiet dignity of one who had already achieved mastery. He arranged his modest workshop as though it were already filled with apprentices. He spoke with the measured wisdom of an accomplished teacher, though he had yet to instruct his first student. Most importantly, he felt the truth of his vision in every step he took. The universe responded to Howard's unwavering faith. Opportunities arose that seemed crafted specifically for his growth. Tools found their way into his possession just as he required them. Students began to appear, drawn by an energy they couldn't quite explain. His faith had created a magnetic field that reality rushed to fill. The difference between Lucille and Howard illuminates an essential truth. Waiting for proof before believing is like waiting for summer to plant your seeds. The natural order flows from faith to sight, from invisible to visible, from belief to manifestation. Your faith is not blind hope, but rather a recognition of what already exists in potential, waiting for your belief to call it forth. The ancient practice of walking in faith remains one of the most powerful tools for transformation. When you move through the world as though your desires are already manifest, you align your entire being with their fulfillment. Your posture shifts, your energy transforms, and the very ground beneath your feet responds to your certainty. Practice. Walk 10 steps daily as if already carrying your dream fulfilled. Feel its reality in every movement. Let its truth inform every gesture. These steps are not pretense, but practice in aligning with what is already yours in the unseen realm. Chapter 15. The Flame of Persistence. In the quiet hours before dawn, Nadine would often start her practices with enthusiasm, visualizing her desired future with crystal clarity. Yet, as days passed without visible change, her dedication wavered. She abandoned one path after another, never allowing the seeds of her intention to take root. Each time she shifted course, her vibration scattered like leaves in the wind, unable to gather the momentum needed for manifestation. The 33rd degree teaches that creation follows a natural rhythm, first in thought, then in essence, and finally in form. This sequence cannot be rushed, for it operates according to universal timing. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up each day to check its progress. Such interference only disrupts the delicate process of growth. Floyd understood this principle deeply. For 7 years, he held steadfast to his vision of establishing a healing sanctuary in the mountains. While others questioned his unwavering focus on what seemed impossible, he maintained the same pure vibration of certainty. He continued his daily practices without wavering, even when circumstances appeared to move in opposite directions. The universe, he would say, does not measure time as we do. It measures the consistency of our faith. In the 8th year, a series of unexpected events unfolded. A distant relative left him land in the exact location he had envisioned. Shortly after, 3 separate benefactors stepped forward, each offering resources that aligned perfectly with his needs. The sanctuary now stands as testament to the power of sustained faith. The difference between Nadine and Floyd reveals a fundamental truth. Persistence in faith is not about forcing outcomes, but about maintaining steady alignment with your vision regardless of external circumstances. When you abandon your practice at the first sign of delay, you interrupt the invisible orchestration of events already in motion. Every dream manifests twice, first in the subtle realm of possibility, then in the physical world of form. The gap between these manifestations is not empty space, but rather a period of active arrangement in the unseen dimensions. Your role during this time is to hold your vibrations steady, like a musician maintaining perfect pitch regardless of the surrounding noise. The 33rd degree knowledge reveals that persistence is not about pushing against resistance, but about maintaining inner certainty, while the universe rearranges itself to match your vibration. This certainty must be as natural as breathing, constant, unwavering, and free from doubt. Practice. Each time resistance appears, repeat these words with quiet certainty. The unseen is arranging itself for me. Let this affirmation remind you that apparent delays are often divine orchestration in progress. Speak these words not with desperation, but with the calm knowing of one who understands the laws of creation. Chapter 16. The Art of Surrender. In a small cottage near the edge of town lived Beatrice.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Listen, I've spent the last 43 years now working with people all over the world, 100 countries to show them.
In a small cottage near the edge of town lived Beatrice, a woman whose days were consumed with meticulous planning. Each morning she would wake before dawn to craft elaborate schedules, mapping every minute detail of how her dreams should unfold. Her walls were covered with charts and lists, her notebooks filled with precise instructions for the universe. The more Beatrice tried to control the path to her desires, the more life seemed to resist her rigid demands. When opportunities arose that didn't match her exact specifications, she dismissed them, certain that only her carefully orchestrated version of success would suffice. Her energy drained with each passing day, as she struggled to force reality into her predetermined mold. The 33rd degree teaches that the flow of creation moves through channels both seen and unseen. Just as water finds its natural course, manifestation follows paths beyond mortal planning. True mastery lies not in controlling every detail, but in aligning with the greater intelligence that guides all things. Vernon, a musician who once shared Beatrice's tendency for control, discovered this truth through an unexpected turn of events. After years of pushing against closed doors, he finally exhausted himself into surrender. In that space of letting go, he found a different kind of power. Rather than forcing his will, He began listening for guidance, following subtle nudges, and trusting in divine timing. His breakthrough came when he released his grip on how his music should reach the world. Instead of demanding specific venues or connections, he simply played with joy wherever he found himself. Soon, opportunities beyond his imagination appeared. A chance encounter led to a recording contract. A last-minute cancellation opened a prime performance slot, and a random conversation connected him with his ideal collaborators. This wisdom reveals that surrender is not passive resignation, but active partnership with the universe. It is the recognition that while we hold the vision of our desires, the exact path to their fulfillment often unfolds in ways our limited perspective cannot foresee. When we release our grip on the how, we allow higher wisdom to orchestrate circumstances far more elegantly than our human planning could arrange. The greatest power lies in this paradox. By surrendering control, we gain access to forces far greater than our own effort. Like a leaf carried by a mighty river, we move further and faster when we trust the current that carries us. Practice. Say softly each night, I release control and trust my life is guided perfectly. Chapter 17, The Magnet of Joy. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Hattie counted every coin with furrowed brows, believing happiness awaited at some distant finish line. Each morning she rose before dawn, worked until stars emerged, postponing all pleasures for an imagined future when success would finally grant her permission to smile. The ancient wisdom of the 33rd degree teaches that joy is not a reward earned through suffering. It is the very frequency that opens the gates of abundance. Those who postpone happiness create a vibration of lack, unknowingly pushing away the very prosperity they seek. For the universe responds not to future intentions, but to present frequencies. In the same city lived Russell, a humble potter who sang while shaping clay. He celebrated the warmth of sunlight on his face, laughed with neighbors, and found delight in the simplest moments. Though his work was no less demanding than Hattie's, he approached each task with lightness. Where others saw mundane routines, Russell discovered opportunities for joy. As seasons passed, an interesting pattern emerged. While Hattie's wealth grew slowly under her stern dedication.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana. We've already sold over 2.9 million barrels.
While Hattie's wealth grew slowly under her stern dedication, Russell's life flourished unexpectedly. Customers were drawn to his cheerful spirit, opportunities arose naturally, and abundance flowed as effortlessly as his laughter. Without striving for success, he attracted it through the magnetic power of his joy. The 33rd degree reveals this truth. Joy is not the destination, but the vehicle. When you vibrate at the frequency of joy, you align with the natural state of the universe, which is endless abundance. Those who grasp this wisdom understand that postponing happiness creates a barrier to manifestation. For how can abundance flow through a channel tightened by joyless striving? The universe responds not to the intensity of your labor, but to the quality of your energy. A heart filled with joy becomes a magnet for miracles, while a spirit burdened by constant striving repels the very blessings it seeks to attract. Let this teaching transform your path. Every moment spent in genuine joy is a moment spent in perfect alignment with universal abundance. Your delight in small pleasures sends ripples through the fabric of reality, drawing to you experiences that match your vibration. Sacred practice. Commit to one act daily that brings spontaneous joy, no matter how small. Let this joy arise naturally, without forcing or planning. Whether it's dancing to a beloved song, watching clouds drift across the sky, or sharing a genuine laugh, make space for pure delight. This practice is not frivolous, but fundamental to manifesting your desires. Chapter 18. The Silver Thread of Intuition. In a quiet village, Estelle possessed remarkable talents, yet found herself walking paths that felt hollow. Each morning, a gentle urging would arise, suggesting a different route to work, prompting her to speak to a stranger, or nudging her to explore an unexpected opportunity. Yet time and again, she dismissed these subtle whispers, choosing instead to follow the safe and familiar path of logic. The 33rd degree teaches that intuition flows like an underground stream, carrying messages from the infinite wisdom of the universe. This inner knowing speaks not in shouts, but in gentle impressions, quick flashes, and unexplainable certainties. When ignorant,
about 7 minutes away.
these messages fade like morning mist, taking with them bridges to unseen possibilities. In the same village lived Everett, a merchant who had learned to trust the quiet voice within. When his mind suggested one direction, but his heart pulled another, he honored the subtle knowing. If an inexplicable urge suggested waiting rather than rushing forward, he paused. When a mysterious feeling drew him to walk down an unfamiliar street, he followed. Through this surrender to inner guidance, Everett's life unfolded with a grace that seemed magical to others. Business opportunities appeared at perfect moments. The right people crossed his path precisely when needed. Even challenges arrived with hidden blessings, as though orchestrated by an unseen.
I only drink on days that start with a T. Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday.
Oh my god, not this guy.
Arrived with hidden blessings, as though orchestrated by an unseen hand. The wisdom reveals that intuition is not random. It is the language of the soul speaking through feelings, images, and knowledge. This inner compass points always toward your highest good, though its directions may not always align with logical planning. Those who learn to trust this quiet voice discover that life has already laid stepping stones across the waters of uncertainty. Your inner knowing is the thread that connects you to universal intelligence. When you dismiss these subtle promptings, you separate yourself from the greater flow of life's orchestration. Each ignored whisper is a declined invitation to step into alignment with your highest path. This truth stands eternal. The universe speaks constantly through the voice of intuition. This guidance system, built into your very being, awaits only your willingness to listen and trust. In the silence between thoughts, in the space between breaths, wisdom flows continuously, offering direction, protection, and the keys to unlocking your greatest potential. Sacred practice. Spend 3 minutes each morning listening silently, waiting for the whisper of one small guidance. Sit in stillness before the day begins, allowing your breath to slow until the quiet voice within rises naturally. Whatever impression comes, Honor it with your attention and, when possible, your action. Chapter 19. The Bridge of Immediacy. In a small village among ancient hills, there lived a woman named Nora, who spent her days dreaming of tomorrow. "When I have more money, I'll travel," she would say. "When circumstances improve, I'll start that garden." Her life became an endless string of postponed joys, each dream pushed into a future that never seemed to arrive. The 33rd degree teachings reveal truth often overlooked. Creation knows only the present moment. Like a mirror, it can only reflect what stands before it now. Your vibration, that subtle energy that shapes reality, exists solely in the present. When you delay your joy, you delay the very frequency that attracts your desires. This wisdom became clear through Edgar, a humble potter who lived in the same village. Though his circumstances were modest, he chose to celebrate life as it unfolded. He would shape his clay with the same reverence he imagined using in his dream studio. He served tea to visitors in simple cups, but treated each gathering as though it were taking place in the grand tea house he envisioned. Edgar understood that tomorrow's reality grows from today's vibration. He did not wait to feel successful. He embodied success in his current actions. He did not postpone his happiness until achievement. He infused each moment with the feeling of fulfillment. Within months, opportunities appeared that aligned perfectly with his readiness. His small workshop expanded, his reputation grew, and his dreams materialized with an ease that seemed magical to others. The contrast between Nora and Edgar illuminates a fundamental truth. The bridge to your desired future can only be built from the present moment. When you postpone positive feelings until conditions change, you trap yourself in a loop of waiting. The universe responds not to what you want, but to what you are being now. This teaching extends beyond mere positive thinking. It calls for the courage to feel wealthy while looking at a modest bank balance, to feel loved while still seeking partnership, to feel successful while building your dreams. This is not denial. It is the active calibration of your present vibration to match your desired reality. The secret lies in understanding that your power to create never dwells in tomorrow. It lives in this breath, this heartbeat.
The Middleman Meltdown is a yearly streaming-based fundraising event where we cook metal meal.
Dwells in tomorrow. It lives in this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of now. When you align your current vibration with your desired experience, you open a channel through which manifestation flows naturally. Each morning as the sun rises, pause and ask yourself, if my dream were true today, how would I feel? Then allow that feeling to infuse your being. Let it color your thoughts, guide your actions, and shape your vibration. This is not pretense. It is the art of conscious creation, the alchemical practice of transforming tomorrow by embodying its essence today. Chapter 20. The golden practice of consistency. In a village among ancient hippos lived Annie, whose spiritual practices shifted like leaves in the wind. One day she would meditate, the next try crystals, then switch to mantras, never allowing any practice to take root in the fertile soil of her being. Her energy scattered in many directions, leaving her exhausted and unfulfilled, wondering why transformation eluded her grasp. The 33rd degree knowledge reveals a truth often overlooked in its simplicity. The power lies not in the multitude of practices, but in the unwavering devotion to one. Just as a gardener cannot nurture 100 seedlings with the same care as one treasured plant, your spiritual energy requires focused cultivation. Your thoughts, when scattered across numerous practices, become like water spread too thin across parched earth. Nothing grows deep enough to flourish. The ancient wisdom teaches that consistency creates channels through which universal energy flows with increasing strength. Each repetition deepens these channels, allowing more power to flow through with less resistance. In the same village lived Reginald, who chose the simple practice of morning gratitude. Every dawn, without fail, he would sit in his garden and speak his thanks to the universe. Through storms and sunshine, through loss and triumph, he maintained this one sacred ritual. As months passed, his life transformed not through dramatic shifts, but through the steady accumulation of positive energy. His relationships deepened, opportunities appeared naturally, and a quiet joy became his constant companion. The contrast between Annie and Reginald illuminates a fundamental truth. Mastery comes not from sampling many paths, but from walking one path many times. The power of consistency lies in its ability to compound small efforts into profound change. Each day you maintain a practice. You weave another thread into the fabric of your transformation. This wisdom echoes through time. Those who achieve mastery are not those who know many techniques, but those who have allowed one technique to know them completely. Your practice, whatever you choose, must become as natural as breathing, as consistent as the rising sun. The teaching holds that 21 days marks a crucial threshold. The
Falcon, Prescott, Maine.
different. For real. Strong as hell. Ah.